Good morning, Merry Christmas. This is the take 3. I screwed up the first 2 times. You know what? The first time I rambled. The second time I rambled only a little bit, but it felt like it wasn't coming out right. And that's because that's not what I was supposed to be talking about. In my last video, I remember mentioning, well, I got in the shower the other day. It was right before I made my last video, or not the last one from last night, but the one before. And I got in the shower and I realized something. That, I don't know how, but the water kind of acts like, well, it's definitely a grounding thing, like it helps you focus. It really does. And I've always done this, and I've told people about it, that when I'm in the shower, I'm not only cleansing myself on the outside with my soap and whatever, and the shampoo, washing your body, but I also pray, and I ask that the water cleanses me spiritually, and that it also, whatever this water touches, it also blesses and cleanses spiritually, basically. I've always had this strong connection with the divine. Always drawn to religions. I don't know lots, I just know a little bit, like I said, a little bit about the many religions there are. I've probably been to every house of faith, except a synagogue, a mosque, and a place where the Indian gods are worshipped, the Hindu gods like Shiva and Krishna. I've never been there. I tried, but I just never got to be able to get the connections to be able to go to these places. I spent 6 months at the Mormon church, and I'm in Canada. And you know what? Anything that preached kindness, love, acceptance, gentleness, and you know what? That's what I found in those places. That's why I was drawn there. Because regardless, I think that people were looking for goodness in the world and had that same core belief in it as I do. Because nobody's perfect. I've really lived a life that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful to have had this tremendous change, to have these deep and profound understandings of why I exist. And so I do a lot of thinking in the shower, meditation, because the focus is good and I can do something which I call connect to source. It's called source connection. I just always had this inside of me, and I've drawn a picture, and I wonder, should I show you first? Or should I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what happened first. I think, yeah, I'll go with that. Because I couldn't pick it up, so I'll just go with this. So, as I was thinking about that day, how I should progress with this, because it's really important that I share this in the way that I came to understand it, because if I just come out with the conclusion, I know it's going to be flat out rejected, and it's okay. I don't expect people to just accept this. I don't expect them to just believe what I say. I don't. But I'm sharing it because I'm confident in the fact that I know that we are all the same. Inside, we all come from this same source. So, and whether you think that, or no, no, not think, but whether you, because I did, I thought, because I always prayed all the time, every night before bed, even if it was just the simplest thing of saying that I was grateful to be alive, that I was grateful to be here. I would maybe pray for some things that I would wish to be different, and I would always ask to be protected with the power of holy goodness. Goodness. Because that's how I knew it felt, but I didn't really identify or resonate with the Bible. And I'm not saying anything bad about it, because it's a, should I be honest? How I feel? Please don't be upset, because I don't judge anybody else at all for how every time I say at all, there's something I have to tell you about that. Every time I say that word, I get this feeling in my stomach and I have to stop ignoring it. And I'm going to tell you why, but later. So, to make a long story short, because I know that I'm like this, I'm always like this. I just digress and go all over the place. I try not to. I asked, how was I able to express all of this? Oh, about the Bible. About the Bible. Oh, man. I know, I do smoke weed, but it's really helped with all of this. I don't think I would have made it, and I only started smoking weed when I was 23, and I'm 35 now. And it was because of a traumatic event. I did have PTSD. I don't struggle with it anymore. I probably still have some of the symptoms because I still feel that energy well up inside of me when I know that I'm in a dangerous situation. But I think that might be just a little bit of a normal reaction. But I am getting it under control more and more and more and more, and I will explain all of it. But I just don't have time to do it. These videos are going to be too long. So, the Bible, I always felt, was a guidebook on how to be a good person, Like, people would be like, oh, Jesus isn't real, even my own parents. And I'd say, well, maybe not. And that's not what I believe. But, second. I gotta get a drink. I've done this 3 times, so now my throat hurts. So, yeah, I tried to read the Bible, and I couldn't get through it. It just didn't reach me. Because I could translate these things into how, like, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's the easiest one and least exhausting. Treat others as you want to be treated. Love them as you want to be loved. Okay, then. So that's what I do now. Even this morning, the first comment that I dealt with, like on that guy's post that I saw this morning, that triggered this whole thing. And I'll do, because that, I'm going to deal with that part of this, because this has to do with good and evil, okay? But it all comes from the same source. It does. I know this is difficult. So let's get to the point. I prayed, I asked, how was I supposed to express this to them in a way that will reach them? And I saw this vision, and it was very quick. I could see it because I went through the vision and I was at the end. This is what I saw. I saw a single cell, and then I saw it divide and divide again, and then there was a lot of them, okay? And it was symbolizing growth because I seen grass and flowers and trees. And then all of a sudden, it was like everything, including the plants, the animals, the humans, don't go so fast. the plants, the animals, and the humans all had these, not rope, tether attached to them. And all of a sudden I saw this huge, like, it's a nervous system, and it's vast, and it's everywhere, and it's connected to everything. And you follow it right to its center, and then it's like, boop, and there's nothing there, and it's just darkness. Excuse me. I was in the middle of something very important. Thank you. I didn't even notice he was there until just then. So, this nervous system, then it comes, and I mean, this is connected to all things. I mean, it's so big. And but it looks like a nervous system. It's all connected, and there's all these not wires, tethers, and tentacles, it kind of looks like. Beams of light, tunnels. Anyway, right. So you follow that, and then it's like, it shows me it's all black, and then it's just like, poof, light. And in order to just go, in order to experience itself, it had to go into everything. Basically, what I heard is that it's experiencing itself through all life, through all living things, through all eyes. It is looking through all of our eyes and experiencing all life. My Salem, me, you, everybody around you, and it's all the same source, and it looks like this. Sort of. This is like an all-seeing eye, because you know that it's looking at you, even though there's no eye. You know that it's looking at you as you're looking at it, and you know that in a way it is you, and that you are just a piece of it that has left and will return, right? You are a puzzle piece of a giant puzzle, and you need to take your place, because this is in all of us. It's energy, it's thought, it's feeling. It has no physical form. What I see, and what I was smiling, is because it's light. It is life. It looks like lightning, but it's energy. And did I just cover the camera? I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. It's just because when I see it in the mind's eye, it's in front of me. And so I want you to take a look at this a little closer. Okay? And I called it source connection. And there's just this thing I can do. And over my life, I have ignored it because I thought that I was crazy and that there's no way that I could be right about certain things. But I truly feel that this is right. This is right for me anyway. And I've always had a close personal relationship with this entity that I called God, the source of all things. And another way that I saw it, because like I see things visually. I sometimes have I'm not stupid, and I know that I'm not stupid. I have many gifts. Sometimes I'm not good at articulating myself this way. but I think this would be good. You see this? This is one of the first drawings that I channeled like this about my feelings. This is the masculine and feminine aspect. This is the astrological aspect of our ascension, our awakening, basically our journey in life. This is what Soul School's about. This is what life is about. And the reason why their faces are blank, it's not actually blank, that's a mirror. And that's a mirror. And these represent the chakras, your energetic centers. I didn't do this on purpose. When people look at this drawing, they interpret it for themselves. I don't even have to say anything. And then at the top here is the divine and the balance of your dark and light and your yin and yang and the masculine and the feminine. And you see this color? It's like this purple, light, purple, indigo like color, like the top where the crown chakra color is supposed to be. When I had my near-death experience, the atmosphere around me was this pinkish purple color, but also in the room of the being that I saw that night, the room was energetically charged and it was denser and thicker, and like I could have swore that there was like this pinkish hue in the room. But it was hard to focus on because it was just for a split second. It was like a really thin veil. And there was something that I forgot to show you. That night, here's where we are normally, but it felt like so it was that thick, and then it's this thick now. So it was denser, but it wasn't a bad feeling at all. At all. I didn't feel danger. I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I felt very, very shocked. But I wasn't in danger. I didn't feel fear for my life. And I recognized that. And I think that what this great conjunction is bringing in is that energy. Is this maybe that's what fourth density is? And then we're going to be on 5D on the inside. 4D on the outside though, so going from 3D to 4D on the outside, because I'm trying very hard, because I even got my first F myself this morning, and all I said was, "Oh, good for you." After I just told him not to come online and say that everybody's on drugs. It's not nice. Even if you think that, just keep it to yourself. It's not nice. I said in one day, because I know I was there. I was there. I remember I'd be like, whoa, what kind of drugs are they on? Especially when I'd never done weed. And the only thing I've ever done is mushrooms and weed and antidepressants. Because that is a drug too. The pharmaceuticals, you know what I mean? And I only did mushrooms like 4 times. And that was in my early 20s. And that's just not nice. So I've recognized, and I mean, I'm just different. I'm just different. And I finally had the courage to do this. And I recognize all these changes. And it's really good. I feel better than I have ever. Holding all of this in was a poison that was killing me. It was causing me depression. It was causing me to want to die because I didn't fit in this world. I thought that I was made wrong. But what it was is that I was made right in a world that's wrong. I'm a little naive. People have laughed at me my entire life. And that's okay, because I'd still help you if you needed it, if you needed me. I have never been alone. The divine was with me, always. I never really, the whole religion thing put me off of Jesus. I didn't understand what Jesus was. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you right now, Jesus is unconditional love in a body. He is this energy, because people will debate me. Oh, there's no proof, there's no proof. Well, who cares? The metaphor of the story is that's the best role model to be. You know? There's lots of them like that, because they are of unconditional love. From source. That's God. They're good. Goodness. I'm not saying I'm God. I am so tired that I could either do this or die. Seriously. It was so bad for me. These two things pushing against each other. I've been pretending my whole life, and this feels like, but I've come to accept it. And you know what? The only thing I can do is help change it. So that's why I'm doing this. It took me a long time to learn unconditional love, because I never got it. I had it inside of me, and I thought it was wrong, because everybody around me was very cruel, and they told me everything about me pretty much was wrong. I remember sitting in the living room with my family, and Mars came on the television, and I just said this, and I don't know where it came from, and I remember it. And I still feel like this is true today. Mars came on the TV, it was in the news, we were having a family gathering, I don't know what it was, I'm trying to remember, I don't know. And I was like, oh, Mom, there used to be people on Mars, but they blew themselves up. Like, it was just common knowledge. And my family, like, bursts out laughing. I'm like, what's everybody laughing about? That's not funny. You know? Like, I didn't get mad, but it's like, what's wrong with them? That's not funny. I was like, okay. You know, and again, like, I just kept beating this up. Like, fighting it back in. And it almost killed me. So, yeah, maybe I've just gone crazy and I don't know. Because when you go crazy, you don't fucking know. You don't. When there's something gone wrong, they don't know. And you can come back from that. Just because you've gone there once to Crazy Town doesn't mean you can't come back. Everybody makes mistakes. You can be totally convinced something is something what you think it is. And it's not. I would know. I don't know what else to say right now. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is long enough. Maybe this is enough. But I finally learned unconditional love. I have the letter up there. There's my TV stand with all my spiritual, my Buddha and all my stuff up there, and my Shiva and my green Tara and all my crystals and my salt lamps. And there's a little keepsake box, and I have this in there. And I had this really powerful epiphany because I had the twin flame experience, and it was to teach me unconditional love. Sometimes it's not. It's just different for everybody. I'm so tired, I don't have time to get into that. I don't want to make this any longer than half an hour. So, I learned that love was inside of me. Okay? Long story short, I loved him. He didn't love me. But I realized all that love was in me. It had nothing to do with him. It was all in me. And that's beautiful. And I know. Maybe you'll think I don't care about myself because I haven't dyed my grays, you know? I've been considering if I ever want to dye my hair again. You know? It's not good for you. I don't know. It's not that I don't care about how I look. I love myself so much that instead of choosing death, I chose this. This is nothing, it's not about me. You know? This is about hoping and having faith. This is a leap of faith that by doing this, it is going to move the cogs of the universe forward. Even just a little bit to get to that place. Because we can get there. World peace can be achieved. This planet can be so great, and I am living proof that all things can change through the power of unconditional love. It's not a joke. I used to think it was, but look at me. Look at how freaking tired I am. I had to stop the video before because I needed to meditate. And then even after I came back, it wasn't right because I wasn't talking about what I was supposed to. I was supposed to talk about this. And I just kind of forgot that this is my starting point. But I'm telling you, the universe has whooped my ass. I got my ass kicked. And I'm not mad about it. I'm so grateful. Because I feel so good now. I feel so much better. I feel so much lighter. And oh God, I'm tired. But here, look. There's a lot of people out there that whatever form you believe in, whether it be the rapture, whether it be aliens coming down and taking out all the assholes, over this journey, I have asked people, how would you feel if tomorrow you woke up and all the assholes were just gone? Nobody asked me how. Nobody asked me any kind of question. They just said yes. Maybe I can't say anybody. Maybe only a very small few even said how. And I said, well, they just poof, dust, gone. Oh, okay. That is not the way. It did not work last time. Think about it this way. Before you make an assumption of what I just said, it does have to do with my reincarnation. It's almost like if you took these people whether it be the cabal, whether it be this evil force, and you make it somebody else's problem, whether it be in the next life, because all that's going to happen is they will die, they will go, hang on here, back to source to be recycled, and come right back to do it again. It may not be right away. I was here a really long time ago, really long, where the world was totally different. That's why I can't do real life. I can, but I don't have the patience for it anymore. I can't. I cancel real life. Because it's not that I can't handle it anymore. This isn't me because of the pandemic, like, oh, I can't handle it anymore, so I'm going to go into my fantasy world. Oh, give me a break. I could have done that. I could have wrote books. I could have written Harry Potter. Because all things come from source. When I was a little girl, I got so pissed off one time because, and I don't care, this is the truth, I basically wrote the plot for that show. What was it called? Angel? No, not the show Angel. It was with Jessica Alba, Dark Angel, where she's like a government experiment. And she had like superpowers and shit. I wrote that. And then that dude, I was so mad at that guy who made that show. I was like, that motherfucker, he copied me. But how is that possible? That's the craziest thing. I know. And I was so mad. I wouldn't watch. I think it was Joss Whedon. Whoever the guy was that created that show, Dark Angel with Jessica Alba, I hated that guy. Because he did it before me. I was so mad. I remember that. So I'm telling you, all things, all of it, comes from that same source. And that's, I figured out, that's not the only example I have. Okay? David Wilcock, in his book, said, I'm reading the Synchronicity Key right now. Right now, I'm not finished. I have like maybe the last 100 pages. It's a lot of information to take in, so it's been difficult for me to finish. And I also read his book, The Ascension Mysteries. All right, I won't make my videos any longer than 40 minutes. 40 minutes, that's it. So in the Synchronicity Key, he talks about that it wasn't just one person that came up with an invention. It was many, and at the same freaking time. Like, I remember looking at my pages and showing people, like, look. And this guy, he copied me. And they're like, oh, no, you're just being silly. It's just your imagination. I hate that shit. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop doing that. Dismissing everything. That's the problem. It's not just one thing, my people. It's a lot of things. It's probably everything. We have to stop. If I would have stopped doing that, I would have got a lot further, a lot quicker. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it at that because I just, it's going to be too long. I think I might have made my point. That I just ordered the source field connections, and I have a feeling that that's the last one that's going to help me a lot, because I will say this, I resisted. I didn't hate David Wilcock. I did not hate him. I resisted them, and probably for a reason. Because when I went to chapters and I was looking for books, just really fast, I actually lent the Ascension Mysteries to somebody else, because I hope that it helps him like it helped me. And I went to chapters, and I went to like the New Age, UFO, spirituality section, because God knows it's all in one place. And it's not that big. And there wasn't that many books, and I seen David Wilcock's book, and I'm going to tell you, this was my reaction. Oh, David Wilcock. I did, and I picked his book up, and I flipped through the pages, and I opened the page, and I read, basically listing the symptoms of depression. And I thought, hold on now, because I only knew about David from Ancient Aliens. I never gave David a chance. I dismissed him too quickly because some of the things that they were saying were so outrageous that my mind just couldn't compute it. So I put them in the gray area, put them all there. I'll explain it more in detail later, but I was like, hang on. So he suffered with depression, like I have. He's known there's something not right about this world. And flipping through it, I realized he's also smoked pot. And I closed that book, and I knew with all of my heart that I had to take it home. I tried to put it back down, and it honestly was like there was a rope attached to my hand to the damn book, and I couldn't leave without it. So I took it home, and I started reading it, and I could not put it down. I feel really, like, I mean, I'm getting through it, and I'm dealing with it, but when I think about it, I feel sad that I did that I ignored them, that I sometimes made fun of David Wilcock. And it was only because he's got a big forehead. But that's because he's got a big brain. I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry. And it was only in good fun because my friend really liked you. And I just like to tease her about it. I don't know. I don't know. I know that maybe he won't ever see this, but you need to know that it's okay to apologize and how to do it. Because it's okay. You know, it's all right. I know that he'd forgive me because I have a few minutes. Okay. After I was finished the book, and this also has to do with like dream state stuff, and I know that it wasn't really him. Not really. Like, it's not like he astral projected to me. But after I finished the Ascension Mysteries, and I mean, I read it in a week. I have the receipt still. I'm pretty sure that it was the 3rd that I bought it, and I finished it on the 10th. Like, I couldn't put it down. I didn't have the internet or my computer at the time because my computer broke. I just got this one, and I read it in under a week, and it changed my life. I didn't resonate with the Bible. I'm sorry. It was just a guidebook to me on how to be a good person, and it's not to disrespect anybody else, because I do have a deep love and respect and admiration for the divine in all its forms. And I know some people really, really hate religion, but it does serve its purpose, because some people, they need that. There's no shame in it. I've had to remind myself, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, a lot. And definitely those what would Jesus do bracelets totally make sense to me now. Yeah. I could have said something to that guy this morning that told me to go F myself because I just reminded him to try to be nice to others. But I didn't. I held it in, and I dealt with it, and I realized that, he just doesn't know. It's not his fault. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. I know. And I'm tired now. I don't wanna fight, I don't wanna argue, but to end this off, I had finished the Ascension Mysteries. I was so tired that I went and I took a nap in my bed. And I had a dream, and it was all white, like almost how some people see heaven. It was all white, there was nothing in the background, and I seen David Wilcock. And he was so happy to see me, like just smiling and like full of joy, and not love in a way we're like romantic. No. And he walked up to me and he patted me on the back. Like, it wasn't to be condescending or rude, it was genuine. Like, he came up and he was it was like more because he was like around this, he had his hand to the side and he like patted my back and gave me a little bit of a rub and he's like, good for you. He didn't say it, he didn't say anything, he didn't have to. But it was a very, very short, small dream, and when I woke up, I was like, and I knew that it even was my subconscious because I hadn't read a book in 10 years, and like, I was really proud of myself. And that book really, really helped me. So namaste, David. Thank you, brother. I don't want to give you the apology here, but I want to tell you something if you ever see this. And I'm sorry, everyone, it's just that this is so deeply personal to me that I had to do this as if I was sitting here talking to someone. And I guess it's just like I had to say, okay, well, I'll do it the same way that I sit here and talk to the divine, except out loud and to this device. So it's already past 40 minutes and I got a little emotional. I'm okay though. I'm okay. Like, it doesn't, I still love myself, and if you've stayed for this whole video, I really appreciate it, and I love you too. And you need to love you too. That's the main thing. When you love you, unconditional love changes everything. It transforms you. It's part of the chemical equation that changes you forever. That's what I'm seeing. Like, I'm seeing a beaker, a chemistry set bison beaker, and there's a dropper, and in the dropper is unconditional love, and you are the liquid in here, and once you drop this liquid in, you are forever changed. You're transformed. And that's all. I love you. Take care. Merry Christmas. I have a really good feeling this year is going to be phenomenal. Bye.